Hello friends, welcome to my channel, myself Parag Jambulkar. In this video, we will see different trigger context variables in Salesforce. In last video, we have seen one context variable and that was new, right? In this video, we will see all context variables, those are used in trigger. All these context variables are provided by trigger class. So see, we can use these variables by using trigger class. We have one class with name trigger. So we can use these variables with trigger class. So for example, see, we can use like trigger.isInsert, trigger.isUpdate, trigger.isDelete likewise. So we can use all these context variables by using class trigger, trigger.variable name. So see, there are total 13 context variables. isInsert, isUpdate, isDelete, isUndelete, isBefore, isAfter, newMap, oldMap, isExecuting, size, operationType. So all these are 13 different context variables. Now see, these are the data types. So see, isInsert, isUpdate, isDelete, isUndelete, isBefore, isAfter. All these are Boolean variables. Means they have either true value or false value. Then new and old, they have value list of S object. New map and old map has map value. That means values can be represented as key and value pair. So key is ID and value will be of type S object. Then we have three more context variables. Is executing, size, operation type. Is executing returns Boolean value. That means is executing has either true or false value. Size has integer value and operation type returns enum value. For example, before insert, before update, after update, before delete, after undelete, likewise. So operation type has enum values and values are like before insert and after insert, likewise. In this video, we will see all the context variables in trigger and also will see for what purpose they are used. I will explain it in simple language so that you can understand it easily. Now see, we will see first 6 context variables. If trigger is fired because of insert operation, then isInsert variable has true value. In the same way, if trigger is fired because of update operation, then this will have true value. In the same way, if trigger is fired because of delete operation, then isDelete variable will have true value. If trigger is fired because of undelete operation, then this variable will have true value. In the same way, isBefore and isAfter. So if trigger is fired because of before operation or before event, then isBefore will have true value. And if trigger is fired because of isAfter event, then isAfter variable will have true value. So see, from the name only it is clear. So what we will do, we will have example for this. So see, we will take very simple example and from that example it will be very clear what values these variables return. So see, here I have logged in Salesforce developer.org and I am using Lightning Experience. So see, we will go to developer console and we will open one trigger and we will edit it. So see, open resource student trigger1.apxt. So already we have written one trigger, right? So that trigger only we will edit. If you want to create new trigger, so that also you can do. So see, to create new trigger, you have to go to file, new and apex trigger, right? In this video, we will use our previous trigger, which I have already defined. So see, already I have defined this trigger. So see, I will remove this. Now see, we will write trigger. So trigger, that is a keyword. Then our trigger name. So see, we have trigger name student trigger1. So see, same name will give. Then on keyword. Then our object name. So see, student underscore C. In round bracket, we have to mention event. So see, suppose before insert and suppose if you want to mention before update, something like this. Here we can mention other type of events also. So see, after update, after insert, after delete, before delete, after undelete. So all possible events we can mention. So already in last video we have seen what type of events are possible. Okay. Now see, in curly bracket we have to write body for the trigger. Now see what we will do. We will add one condition. If is insert. Here we will write one statement. So see, system dot debug and here we will write some message. Suppose here we will mention insert operation, something like this. Okay, trigger fired due to insert operation. So see, something will mention trigger fired due to insert operation, right? So see, if isInsert is true, so we'll get this message, right? Trigger fired due to insert operation. So see, same thing we will copy and we will mention other context variables. So see, now see, here we have written these variables, but these variables can be called by using trigger class, right? So we have to mention trigger class. So see how we can mention. Here we have to write trigger dot. So same thing, trigger dot will mention for the all the context variables like this. So see, we have written simple code. Here we are printing message why trigger is fired, because of which operation or because of which event this trigger is fired. Okay, now see, so I am saving it. Okay, now see what we will do. App launcher, my app 3, then students. Okay, so what we will do, we will add one record. So see, some will add with Patel, roll number something, contact number something will mention, score like this, department suppose C, college will mention something PICT like this. Now we will click on save. Okay, so see, we have added this record, right? So see, if I click on student, so here you can see Ved Patel, this student we have added into our object, right? Now see, here we have developer console and see, if we click on this log, so see, here we have this log, right? Now we'll click on this. Okay. Now we will select this debug only checkbox. So see, now here you can find message trigger fired due to insert operation, trigger fired due to before event, right? So see, we have inserted one record, right? And because of that, each insert context variable has value true, and because of that we got this message trigger fired due to insert operation. Here in trigger we have mentioned before insert event, and because of that each before context variable has true value, and because of that we got this message trigger fired due to before event, right? So see, we have inserted one record into our student object, right? We have inserted one record into our student object, and because of that each insert context variable has true value, and because of that we got this message, right? Then see, here we have mentioned before insert event, right? And because of that is before, see, is before this context variable has true value, and because of that this message was printed on the screen. In this way these context variables will have true or false value. Now see, when we are writing trigger, so as per our need we can use this context variable. Now see, suppose if we want to perform some operations in trigger when it is insert operation, so that we can mention here, right? Or when it is update operation, so something we want to perform or something we want to execute for update operation, so that we can mention here, right? So in this way we can use this context variable. So see, we have seen isInsert, isUpdate, isDelete, isUndelete, isBefore and isAfter context variables. Now we'll see newMap, old and oldMap context variable. So see, new and old, it returns list value, right? List of S object. newMap and oldMap returns map of values, right? So map of type ID and S object. ID is key and S object will be value. Now see, what do you mean by new and old? So see, we have new and old. What is the meaning of this? So see, suppose trigger is working on some records. So whatever the old values, whatever the current values, those are present in the object, those are called as the old values. And whatever the new values that we want to update into the records, those are called as the new value. So see, whatever the value, those are already there into the records on which trigger is going to work, those are called as old values. And new values means new values that will be added into the records of S object, those are called as new values. So from the name only it will be very clear. Old values, those are already present, and new values that will be updated into the records, right? Now see, in insert operation, we will not have old values because see, we are inserting new record, right? That's why we will not have old values. And in delete operation, we will not have new values, right? Because that values or that records will get deleted, right? So see, as per the operations, we can use our context variable. So see, we will have context variable new and new returns list, old returns list, right? But new returns list of new versions of the S object records, and old again it returns list of S object, and it returns list of old versions of S object records, right? Old versions of the S object records. Old version in the sense whatever the records those are present into the object. Those values are returned by the old context variable, and new values that we are going to update onto the records, those are written by the new context variables. Now see, we will have one example, and from that it will be very clear. So see, so what we'll do, we'll change this trigger code. So see, so here we'll write code. What we'll do, we'll update this event. So suppose here I am making after update. Now see, this new and old, it returns list, right? List of S object records, right? And because of that, we will use enhanced for loop or for each for loop. So see, we will write code here. So see, we will have this for loop. Now see, so what we have to do, we have to use for each loop, right? So see, we will have colon, and here we will use this context variable trigger dot new. So see, colon trigger dot new. For every record, we will run this loop like this, right? Now see, so we have to save this record, right? So for that purpose, we have to create one variable of type this object, right? So see, suppose we are writing like this. Now see, we are creating one variable record of type this object. It will take one record from this list, right? Because it is returning one list, right? New is a context variable and it is from the class trigger. That's why we have written trigger dot new, right? Now see, what we will do, we will print this value. So see, system dot debug, and here we will mention in single quote score is equal to plus. Now see, our variable name is record, right? So here we will write record dot and our field name. So see, score underscore underscore C. So in this object student underscore underscore C, there is one field score underscore underscore C. So this field we will update. Okay. So likewise we will print score. Okay. So see, here I am writing new score. Okay. Now see. Now for old, we will copy same for loop. We are pasting here. Here we will change new to old. Okay. Old score. Here we have used new context variable, and here we are using old context variable, right? Old score should be something, right? Now see, we are saving it. Okay. Now see. So here with Patel one record we have, and we'll update this record. So see, here old score is 40, right? So whatever the value that we have into the object, so that value is called as old value. So old value should be 40, right? Now see, suppose I am changing it and I am making it 50, something like this, right? Save. So see, old value was 40, new value is 50, right? Old value was 40, new value is 50, right? So see, we'll check here. So this is log. We'll click on this. We'll select this checkbox, debug only. So here you can see old score was 40, new score is 50, right? Old score 40, new score is 50, right? So from where we got it? So from here. Here we are using this context variable new and old. Whatever the value, those are already there into the object. So those are written by old. New records that will be updated onto the object, that will be given by the new context variable. And they are returning list, right? They are returning list. That's why we have written this for each loop. right? So see, this is simple example we have seen. So by this, we will come to know what new and old context variables are returning, right? Now see, we'll take one example and there we'll see what is the use of this new and old context variable. So see, so here I have written one example. So here you can see, I have added two conditions by using context variable. So see, if it is before event and if this field deployment is empty, if we are updating any record and in that record if this new value, if department value is empty, then one error should be thrown like this. There should be error message, department cannot be empty, right? If it is before event and if this department field is empty. Okay, so see what we will do here. We'll keep this department empty. Let us see. Okay, now we'll click on save. So see, here we got the message, right? Department cannot be empty, right? Why we got this message? Because here we have written trigger. Before updation only, we want to give error message. And if this field is empty, then we are throwing one error, right? So see, we'll change this value, department. So we'll mention C. Okay, now we'll click on save. Okay, so now no error message, right? So in this way, we can use different context variable. So here in this example, we have used new isBefore, right? Okay. So we have seen how to use new and old context variable. Now we'll see newMap and oldMap. So newMap and oldMap, what values they are returning? They are returning map of type ID and isObject, where ID is key and isObject is value, right? So see, we'll see one example and from that it will be clear. We'll see how to use oldMap. So see, look at this. So in this example, if new score is less than old score, then keep old score, otherwise update new score. So what we are checking, if new score is less than old score, in that case we'll keep old score, otherwise we'll add new score, right? So see, here we are adding condition. If this score, right, new score, right? So this score is coming from this variable, right, trigger.new. So it is new score. If this new score is less than old score, so see, from where we are getting, for that purpose we have used this old map. So see, trigger.oldMap. So it will return map of old record, right? Now see, as it is map, we require key to access any value, right? So for that purpose, so see, here we are calling get method and here we are passing key and key is an ID, right? So see, we are mentioning ID here. By using get method, we'll get value and by this we'll get map, right? Old map. That means map which is representing old values, right? If this new score is lesser than old score, then what we are doing, we are keeping old score only. So see, we'll change some value. So see, here I have opened this record. Now see, score is 35, right? And here I am making 30. So see, previously it was 35. Now I have made 30. 30 is lesser than 35, right? In this case, old value should be retained, right? So see, I am clicking on save. So see, still score is 35. Why? Because we have written one condition. If new score is lesser than older score, old score should be maintained, right? So see, suppose if I make 32, still it is 35. And if I make it 37, like this, so now it is 37, right? So see, our condition is working. And how we got old value? So we got it by using old map, right? So see, trigger.oldMap map which represents old values as it has key value pair. So see, by using get method, we are mentioning key here. Key is ID. And by that we are getting old score, right? And that we are comparing with the new score. So in this way we can use old map and in the same way we can use new map. Now we will see context variables isExecuting, size and operation type. So see, isExecuting is of Boolean type. That means it has true value or false value. It returns true if the current context for the Apex code is trigger. So see, whatever the Apex code is running, if it is trigger, then it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. Then size. It is of type integer and see what it returns. Total number of records in a trigger invocation, both old and new. Total number of records in the trigger. So that is returned by this size context variable. Then third we have operation type. and it returns enum values, right? So already I have told it will return before insert, before update, after update, before delete, after undelete. So this enum value will get returned by this context variable operation type. Okay, so we'll see one example. From that it will be clear. Here I have taken one simple example. So see, we are printing value of this context variable is executing size and operation type, right? Okay, so see, I am saving it. Now see, we'll update one record. So see, suppose I am opening this record and suppose I am changing roll number. Suppose I am making it 66. Save. Okay, we'll click on logs. We'll click on this. Select debug only. Okay, so see, here we got message is executing is true. Why? Because it is run from the trigger. Size is equal to 1 because trigger was working on only one record. Then operation type before update, right? Operation type was before update, right? So that's why we got these records. Now see, if same statements, if I copy and if we run from anonymous window, so see, we will execute this. We will select debug only. So see, is executing false. Why is executing false? Because that context variable is not used from the trigger, right? Size is equal to null and operation type is equal to null. Because these context variables cannot be used outside the trigger. That's why we got null value. So in this video, we have seen how to use different trigger context variables. So friends, I hope you like this video. If yes, then click on like, subscribe to the channel and don't forget to press bell icon so that you will get notification of my next video. So stay connected. Thank you.